This video is sponsored by
No one.
Hello and welcome back to another exciting tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you another program called Unity. Some of you might have heard of Unity. Generally it is a game that it is a program that helps you create games. Well, there are a lot of things you can learn in Unity, and I'm going to teach you some. Well, for today, I'm just making an introduction to Unity, and I'm just going to show you some basic stuff. Okay, so to make a game, if you're in Unity Hub, click on New, and then 3D, because I'm going to show you how to make a 3D project, and just name it how you just name it how you like it. Okay, I'm just and then there is a file which is usually which I have created especially for my games in Unity, which is also called my games. If you want, you can do it as well. And once you have selected where you want your game to be and selected the version, if well, there is also a pre-installed version, but you can install more anyway. Just wait for it to open. Okay, and now that it's ready, so this is Unity, what you probably see every time you get in a game that you haven't started before. Now, how to control this is different than Blender. Well, the middle mouse does not rotate, but it grabs the screen and moves you instead. And another way to move is by clicking the right mouse, and then with W, A, S, and D you can move as well. Now if you rotate if you drag your mouse while having the right mouse clicked, you can also rotate your camera anyway. So to add a terrain in Unity, you have to go here and 3D object. There are many ways, but I'm using this because it's faster. 3D object and then terrain. Now what the terrain does is generally it looks like this, and for some of you who might have watched my Roblox Studio tutorial series, a terrain is like a template, and you can sculpt it and a lot more. So anyway, if I select the terrain with the left mouse and then go to settings, I can adjust its scale, and I'm going to make it very small to begin with. And okay, this is terrain 100. Anyway, yes. Okay, so now that I've got my terrain, I will show you later how to sculpt and everything. But for now, I'm just going to go over here and add a cube. It looks exactly like a cube in Blender 2.9 or 2.8 or anything. But if you want to move towards the cube faster, you have to click twice over here. Okay, and also if you want to move without um, clicking the right mouse, just with your middle mouse, just scroll. Also, um, now I'm just going to go here to the cube where I can scale it. Yes, Control Z to undo. Rotate it and move it as I already and already. Anyway, okay. So a couple of hotkeys you should mark. Q is for this hand to grab. Instead of using the middle mouse, I'm using the right mouse. W to move, to use a move tool. E for the rotate. R for the scale, and and it goes on. Anyway, um, now let me show you. Well, obviously, I can go over here and rename the cube to whatever I want, but I'm just going to leave it as it was. Now, to add materials, uh, right click and then folder, and just name for your convenience these folder materials, and then create again, left click again, right click, excuse me, again, and then material, and as you can see, that's a new material. So if I select how I want to do everything, and wait, yes, now I go over here and I adjusted my materials color. Now if I go here, materials, and click, left click, hold and drag, and release when I move it onto the cube will turn blue, like our material. Okay, uh, now the very basics are actually these. So I have shown you how to make files, folders, and materials. And now since this is default scene, this is our default scene, and if I go here and add scene, new scene, just scene 2, and click twice, it's like it was at first, like our default screen was at first, scene was at first. So yes, now if I make any changes, um, plain, no, not plain actually, uh, anyhow terrain, and now I go here to sample screen. It's asking me if I want whether I want to save the changes. I'm just going to press don't save because scene 2 I really didn't do much. And now if I click on this play button, you can see that everything turned a little bit darker, and you can change the color, but they just okay, uh, edit. Okay, wait a minute. Anyhow, if I go here to edit and then preferences and colors, this is the background color, but when you're playing you can make the color like this, for instance, so that you I will show you why. Because you see, when you hit play, it goes over here to camera view, as the game camera is going to see everything. So when you test your game, it will be like this, and you don't want this, so you can move your camera. But anyhow, any changes you make while in uh, while in play mode will not be saved, so they're only temporary if you want to test something new. And that's why you may want to change your color over here, because you might need to have a reminder of that whatever change you make will not be saved, and that is going to be a problem if you do much. So anyway, when you go to play modes, I would suggest you didn't make many changes or any really. And I'm just going to the camera. Wait. And now that I'm moving it, you can see over here that what the camera sees, so it looks a little nicer. Now if you don't want some changes, some things you might have done uh, over here in the layout, you can always go here and default, or um, yes, anyhow, somewhere here, window, yes, I forget things. Okay, layouts and default. And if you want to adjust the lighting, you can go, because I don't like it personally, I don't like it if my lighting is so messy. So yes, I mean completely white. And those are the basics. I didn't mean to be tiring. Uh, oh damn! Wait a minute, because we have a problem. And if you delete the terrain, you will not be able to do this action, because there were two terrains and I wanted to, for some reason, and I wanted to delete them, to delete the fake one. Anyway, well, personally, just to tell you, just back here, I don't change anything that goes on around here. I personally, I don't make any changes, because I don't really like any colors. So anyhow, yes, those were the basics, and I hope I wasn't too boring. And see you next time for another tutorial. Goodbye.